This summer's been absolutely amazing for me. We're playing festivals in Australia, Japan, all over. We went to Toulouse, and we played a festival in Switzerland right on Lake Geneva. My whole band and I went out together on a boat and we all got to drive it around, which was pretty incredible, and it got me thinking, I want to do this again. I wonder how much it costs to have a boat. It's probably a bit more than I can afford at the moment, but maybe next year. I mean, just picture yourself going on boat trips in the sunshine with your friends. It's a pretty cool prospect, right? A chilled out ride, maybe off the coast of Brighton on one of those rare summer days, get a few beers in and everyone can kick back a little bit. That's the vibe I wanted to go for with my playlist, a chilled summer mix, mellow but bouncy, with an early 2000s neo-soul vibe. There's nothing too in your face. I wanted it to be soulful but quite hip-hop, something to enjoy with your friends. That's why I included songs like Rodney P's The Nice Up, which is a UK hip-hop classic. I came up through the ranks of UK hip-hop and everyone who's into that scene knows that song. It's super feel-good, even if you don't know it, you couldn't help but move to it. Ranbone Man, Hip-Hop on the Water. Photograph, Dean Shorkley, The Roots, You Got Me is another classic, one of those sing-along tracks that makes everybody feel good at a party. I've also got Fatima's Family in there, which is really interesting. At first you think it's going to be a housey kind of song, but it's almost got a Latin feel to it. Her melodies are incredibly beautiful. That, mixed with the production, is just lovely. And then there's Anthony Hamilton's Charlene, which is the song you want to play when it's 11 p.m, you've had 4 or 5 drinks, and maybe you've got a girl with you. I'm not particularly smooth with the women, IWASNT, when I was younger. Anthony Hamilton definitely helped me along, so it's one for the ladies. Sar 1 Fatima, Family 2 Mura Masafite ASAP Rocky, Love $, 3 Roots Maneuver meets Wrongtum, Whirl A Mine 4 Rodney P, The Nice Up 5 Angie Stone, Bone 2 Pickwit U 6 The Fugees, The Fugila 7 Anthony Hamilton, Charlene 8 The Roots feat Erykah Badu, You Got Me 9 Gnarls Barkley, Who's Gonna Save My Soul 10 A Tribe Called Quest, Scenario Ranbone Man's Overproof tour is in the UK in November. Click here to listen to Ranbone Man's playlist on Spotify. Kesha playlist for a beach afternoon. Kesha, I love how whimsical these songs are. My favorite way to listen to music is to pull out my old vinyl and take a trip to my music idols. Give me a beach by the ocean, my records and a record player on a lazy summer afternoon and I'm the happiest. There's a warmth and authenticity to listening to the music I love from the 60s and 70s on the original discs. For me it gets no better than listening to the samples of the Beach Boys eating crunchy vegetables on their song Vegetables. On this playlist I've selected a few tracks from landmark records I've listened to my whole life and which inspire my new album. I really dove into learning about how they were made. I love how whimsical some of these songs are. They prove that there is no formula for music, it can be as out there as you want it to be. When you listen to a song like The Beatles' Yellow Submarine or Iggy Pop's Nightclubbing, you can tell that it's just pure artistic expression. It isn't someone in a studio trying to write a radio hit, it's someone just making art, and you can feel that in the music. Songs like Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash, Girl from the North Country, from one of my all-time favorite albums, Nashville Skyline, for me it's magic captured on wax. The way that Dylan and Cash's two voices sing together, seemingly totally unrehearsed with an air of wild abandon, is a religious experience every time I listen to it. These are some of the songs that bring me joy and why I started making music in the first place. I hope you enjoy them as well. 1. The Beach Boys' Vegetables. 2. The Beatles' Yellow Submarine. 3. Sweet Fox on the Run. 4. William DeVaughn, Be Thankful for What You Got. 5. The Kinks, Victoria. 6. Iggy Pop, Nightclubbing. 7. Suicide, Dream Baby Dream. 8. T-Rex, Cosmic Dancer. 9. Bob Dylan and Johnny Cash, Girl from the North Country. 10. Dolly Parton, Just Because I'm a Woman. Kesh's album Rainbow is released on Tuesday on RCA. Click here to listen to Kesh's playlist on Spotify. Teresa Wayman of Warpaint's playlist for a country hike. Teresa Wayman, these tunes were made for walking. Photograph, Brian Rasaquire. Image, I would die if I didn't get a little bit of summer, but I also like to stay inside and work on projects and think about life and be emo. But I do enjoy the outdoors, and I love hiking. I like that it's active but also kind of pensive at the same time. There's a lot of good hiking in and around LA. Griffith Park, Angeles National Forest, Malibu, Topanga. I don't really take it super seriously. I don't backpack into campsites or get up really early. Sometimes you see rattlesnakes and it's kind of frightening. A rattlesnake bite is no joke, it will ruin your day. I picked songs I felt had a pep in, they were step or almost a marching sort of feel, and also a few Stop and Mulderissa songs. I feel like the entire playlist could just be Hard-Boiled Babe over and over again, it's that good. I love it when music makes me feel the way I feel when I look out at a sunset or at a flower and am in awe of the natural beauty, and I love how humans can create things that give off that same feeling. There's a really good momentum to the Slits song, they always seemed wild and feral, so they go well with the atmosphere of a hike. And Patti Smith to me is like a little bit of a wild animal, so she fits in nicely. I've only just discovered this cover and I really like it, it's thoughtful, but also has power and movement. The Lightnin' Hopkins song is one for looking out at the view once you've reached the top of the mountain. I think it's important to remember to slow down and pay attention to your surroundings. And I love blues because of the raw emotion, and that's why I think that's important to the playlist. When you're out in nature it can bring you to some kind of stillness or silence, and someone like Lightnin' Hopkins is going to bring those emotions to the surface. KB1 Unknown Mortal Orchestra, So Good at Being in Trouble 2 Lizzie Mercier Desk Blue, Hard-Boiled Babe 3 Fela Kuti, Expensive Shit 4 Cyndi Lauper, Eco 5 The Slits, Instant Hit 6 Patti Smith, Smells Like Teen Spirit 7 Van Morrison, Sweet Thing 8 Lightnin' Hopkins, Awful Dreams 9 Father John Misty, Hollywood Forever Cemetery Sings 10 Link Ray, Rumble War Paint's new album, Heads Up, is out now on Rough Trade. Click here to listen to Teresa Wayman's playlist on Spotify. Georgia Smith's playlist for a road trip. Georgia Smith. I listen to weird stuff. Photograph. David Levine for The Guardian. I was born in June, so I like summer, and my favorite part of a sunny day is when the sun sets. I've never been on a real road trip, although I've sat in a van with my band going to venues. I don't do the driving myself, I failed the day before I moved to London, but I don't want to drive anyway, I prefer to be in the back. I used to watch a program about Route 66 in America and it looked so fun. A road trip in Cuba is probably top of my list. This playlist is the songs I listen to the most right now. I listen to weird stuff and it doesn't really matter what I'm doing, like in the gym I listen to slow music. I'm going to some festivals this summer, so I'll be playing these songs on my way there. I picked the Charlotte Dos Santos song, which samples an old jazz song called Red Clay by Freddie Hubbard, because it's chilled out. If you don't want to think too much when you're on the road, it's a nice song for that. Charlotte's voice is so beautiful and she produces a lot of stuff herself, which is great. I was traveling from Walsall to London and I listened to Amalou's TBC the whole 2-hour journey. I kept rewinding. It's a beautiful song, haunting, her voice is actually quite eerie. Sondra are also fab. They're this very, very real R&B music, it's so nostalgic. I think they're quite influenced by 112 in Genuine. When I found New Chain by Col 3 Train, honestly I couldn't stop playing it. It's a good road trip song because the beat just drives on. The vocalist has a beautiful voice and he's only 18. I'm not sure how to describe it, it's a bit soul, R&B from the UK. But I think they're creating their own sound. KB1 Charlotte Dos Santos, Red Clay 2 Amalou, TBC 3 SZAFT Travis Scott, Love Galore 4 Col 3 Train, New Chain 5 TD Ness, Saucy 6 IAMD DBX Inca, Leaned Out 7 Toro y Moi, Girl Like You 8 Party Next Door, Low Battery 9 Sonda, Too Fast 10 Kalela, Rewind. Georgia Smith's single Teenage Fantasy is out now. Click here to listen to Georgia Smith's playlist on Spotify. Ezra Furman's playlist for throwing rocks at bottles. Ezra Furman. Happiness just takes over when summer shows up. Photograph. Anthony Pigeon Redfern's Summer's a time when I start to detach from reality, like a balloon that's been let go. It was my favorite season when I was a child because school let out, but even without that circumstance, summer has an anarchic force, like a tornado or the rapture. So I like to do rapturous things in the summer. I like to throw rocks at bottles lined up on a rail and watch them explode while I recite romantic poetry. In the winter, I'm a down-to-earth person. I probably listen to George Jones, or something with a structure and easy to understand words. And then in the summer it's the Yamasuki Singers. This sounds like a bunch of Japanese kids singing with a martial arts expert leading the choir, and they're screaming "whoa"-like exclamations. That's summer music to me. The Daniel Higgs one will last you for a lot of bottles, depending on your aim. It's long and I really like that about it. It feels like Daniel is just living on this one chord and he'll never live anywhere else. It reminds me of the locusts that come out in the summer in Chicago. They don't care who's listening, and they have not thought that people might get bored with their one and only chord. I want to be more like that. I like Happiness Won Me Over because I love the idea of giving into happiness, like you've been resisting it and it finally wins. That's a very summery idea to me. Happiness just takes over when summer shows up. Not that I feel happy all the time in the summer, far from it. But happiness takes on an easily available quality. Sometimes on a hot summer night I get the feeling like nothing could ever hurt me or make me feel bad. And I go to the lot by the rail and gather some rocks and bring some empty bottles from my collection of unremarkable bottles. And I throw rocks at them, and I know that I am loved by an all-encompassing mysterious presence. 1. The Yamasuki Singers, Yamasuki. 2. Daniel Higgs, Hoof Prints on the Ceiling of Your Mind. 3. Pixies, Tame for Tristan, Gold Star. 5. Nick Cave, The Bad Seeds, Higgs Boson Blues. 6. Jens Lekman, A Sweet Summer's Night on Hammer Hill. 7. Neil Young, Ambulance Blues. 8. The Moldy Peaches, What Went Wrong. 9. Noel Perrault Del Mar, Happiness Won Me Over. 10. Coco Rosie, Surfer Girl. Click here to listen to Ezra Furman's playlist on Spotify. Charlie XCX's playlist for A Day by the Pool. Charlie XCX. Recently I've been going through a real Macarena phase. Photograph Atlantic. I like the summer. It's when all your friends get together and the best parties happen. Swimming pools remind me of late night house parties. You can be in the pool, out of the pool, you can bomb in the pool, and there's always someone in there with their clothes on. Public pools are definitely fun too. I remember when I was younger, going to one of those with the fake wave machines. Pretty wild. I haven't been to one for ages. At this pool party there's definitely a barbecue, hot dogs, ice cream, and good cocktails. That is a must. Fruity, icy drinks. In this playlist I've got some of my favorite party jams, and there's something for everyone, multiple genres and multiple emotions. It's like a journey. When people are arriving you're playing the Beach Boys and Gin and Juice, and later you're on the Venga Bus with the Venga Boys going to Ibiza, or dancing to Alma, who's a great DJ and really does know how to party. Recently I've been going through a real Macarena phase, not only playing the song but also doing the Macarena to every song that comes on. It started with me and Dua Lipa at Glastonbury doing it to Major Lazer. You can even do it in the pool, like aerobics. I've seen more people doing it out and about recently, so watch out, it's about to be a viral sensation. Wild Thoughts is one of my favorite songs currently on the radio. The video is crazy good and Rihanna is so sexy in it, and I love the sample Maria Maria by Carlos Santana. It just gives me summer vibes, and it's also my mum's favorite song right now. Aqua's Barbie Girl has a special summer memory for me. When I was about 4 years old I was on a cruise with my family and I performed it in the talent show, but they didn't have the backing track, so I just sang it a cappella, which was probably really weird. I was also the only person who entered, so I won. 1. The Beach Boys, God Only Knows. 2. Snoop Dogg, Gin and Juice. 3. Katy Perry, California Girls for Los Del Rio, Macarena. 5. DJ Khaled feat. Rihanna, Bryson Tiller, Wild Thoughts. 6. Aqua, Barbie Girl. 7. Tupac feat. Dr. Dre, California Love. 8. Alma, Chasing Highs. 9. Chance the Rapper, No Problem. 10. Venga Boys, We're Going to Ibiza. Charlie XCX's new single, Boys, is out now. Click here to listen to Charlie XCX's playlist on Spotify. Clara Amfo's playlist for a roof party. Clara AMFO. There's always something happening on someone's roof. I am absolutely and unequivocally a summer person. I can't stand it when people complain it's too hot. Enjoy it. I just came back from a holiday in Bali and I fell in love with it. It's very much a no worries country. I had a great time climbing mountains, visiting waterfalls and drinking the local coffee, which is made from civet poo. I like roof parties because there's a certain freedom to them. It's the quintessential London summer thing to do, looking over the city, enjoying good company and music. If you're not hanging out in a park or going to some kind of festival, there's always something happening on someone's roof. With this playlist I'm going for that moment before it all kicks off with the big dance tunes. I want a chilled, laid-back soundtrack, so I went for some classic and current soulful songs I enjoy. There isn't a single day that I don't listen to a song produced by Pharrell Williams. They were such a massive part of my growing up and going out, and I absolutely love clips. With Im Good in particular, the production is incredible and I just love the hook. My friend Manny played it at my birthday party, and it reminds me of feeling good. Pretty Baby by Sister Sledge gives me a lot of great memories from one of my favorite nightclubs, Plastic People in East London, which sadly has closed. I've met some of my best friends for life there, and this was one of the songs we'd always hear on nights out. It was produced by Nile Rodgers and it's got that classic Chic production style. It's just the type of song I'd want to twirl to on a rooftop. I love the Spice Girls with no faux irony at all. They're one of the most joyous pop exports this country has ever had. I love that this was produced by Darkchild, who's a proper hit machine. HE's done songs with Destiny's Child, Lady Gaga, Whitney Houston. Whenever this comes on, everyone just goes, "Oh my god, it's such a feel-good tune." KB1 Clips feat. Pharrell, Pin Good 2 Sister Sledge, Pretty Baby 3 SZA, Go Gina 4 Solange, Losing You 5 Thundercat, Them Changes 6 Spice Girls, Hollow 7 Royez. Everybody Loves the Sunshine 8 Mac Miller FT Anderson, PAOK, Dang 9 A Tribe Called Quest Butter 10 Beyonce Party Clara AMFO hosts the Live Lounge month on BBC Radio 1 in September. Click here to listen to Clara Amfo's playlist on Spotify. Stevie Parker's playlist for A Train Journey. Stevie Parker. The train journey from Bristol to London is incredibly beautiful. Photograph Barack Singer. Redferns. I usually love the summer, but I've recently moved into a new flat in Bristol and it's a bit of a hellhole in the heat. So that's kinda put me off summer for the moment. I'm going away to Greece in a few weeks, though, just to unwind. It'll be good to disappear for a bit. I've been spending a lot of time on trains while I've been working in London. The journey from Bristol to London is incredibly beautiful, one of the best. I've been lucky enough to do it hundreds of times, and it never really gets old. It's so peaceful and the scenery rolling past is such a joyous thing. I like to use music to boost my mood and give me some momentum for the day because traveling can make me feel quite introspective, and if I reflected that too much in my music choice, I'd spend the rest of the day feeling overly zen and a bit out of it. So I tend to listen to more uplifting stuff, like Lissy's When I'm Alone, which is one of my favorite songs ever. It's a perfectly crafted pop song with just the kind of mood for traveling and watching the world go by. Pumarosa's Dragonfly is also a good one for soaking up the scenery as it goes by. It's very atmospheric and makes me think of colors in an almost synesthetic way. Anything that transports me to another world when I'm traveling is a good thing. Gabrielle Aplin's Miss You is the perfect song to hum along to. It's really catchy and uplifting and relatable. And Flamingo's Kewali is another good one for when you're working or staring out of a train window. Textured, worldly, and full of interesting sounds with lots of actual real instrumentation, nothing synthetic or electric. Sarwanheim. If I Could Change Your Mind 2 Wolf Alice, Your Love's Whore 3 Lord, Sober 4 Gabrielle Aplin, Miss You 5 Flamingo's Kewali 6 Pumarosa, Dragonfly 7 Una, Used to Love You 8 Maggie Rogers, Alaska 9 Lissy, When I'm Alone 10 Harry Styles. Woman Stevie Parker is touring in September and October. The Cure is out on Virgin Emmy. Click here to listen to Stevie Parker's playlist on Spotify.